Hey guys, it's Ben. I haven't made a video like this in a long time, but it's just going to be walkthrough solves and explanation of a method that a lot of people don't use, but I believe has a lot of potential, and I've gotten quite fast with it. I'm like around 13 seconds for it on Square-1. It's called Lin. It's basically just layer by layer for Square-1, except it's more like roux style, and then the last two steps are insert an edge and permute the corners, and then EPLL. So it's very fast in the latter stages because you don't have to pause nearly as many times as for Vandenberg. So here's an overview of the steps. First step is obviously cube shape or cube shape parity, and then you do first block, and then you do second block, and then you orient and permute the corners, and then EPLL. It's pretty simple, and it's very easy to learn. There's only like 11 or 12 algs you need to know, and you already know 2 of them if you use Vandenberg. So I will go over the steps a little bit more clearly now. They're pretty straightforward, but there are a few algs for the third and fourth steps, so I'll go into those. So after you get into cube shape, the first step is obviously first block, and you just want to make sure that the cube is off by a 1 or -1 or whatever to make sure it doesn't go out of alignment or out of cube shape. And first block is very simple. That just takes intuition. There's not any algs for that, obviously. It's just basically a roux first block, but you don't have to worry about the middle one because the middle is already solved and it's one piece. So after you do first block, you put it on the left, just like in roux, or most roux solvers put it on the left, and then you second block, and that's usually pretty simple, except if you get something like this, because you see how the corners are kind of like they're on the same side. You have to use something called M2s to put the edge in to solve this block. So it's the same as an M2 for 3x3, except you execute it differently. So to execute an M2 on Square-1, it's just 1/(-1, -1/-1/, and you execute it like that. It's not hard, and most of you probably already knew how to execute that, but I just want to be sure. So after you're done with that, you do the block, and you also put one of the edges in the back. It can be either one of these two. It does not have to be the edge that actually belongs back here. In this case, I actually put the edge that belonged back there, but you don't have to. If you do put the incorrect edge back there, and I'll do that like this, at the end of your alg for CP and inserting that edge, you just cancel into an M2 and then do 6 and then M2. That's pretty simple. And then after you're done with the edge insertion and then CP, you do EPLL, and it's just like every other EPLL on 3x3, plus there's a few parity versions, which you can learn the algs for, but I personally don't know them. And yeah, it's pretty simple. I'll be going into all the edge insertion algs now. They're pretty easy. The first one is this. It's when and all the edges, except for one case, the edge that needs to be solved goes up here, and where it needs to go is in the front. So the first alg is like this, and I'll have the alg in the description. It goes like this. Pretty simple. And that was just diag swap. The next one is this, when the bar is in the front, or the headlights are in the front, and you execute it like this. Pretty easy. That one there's something special about that case. Hold on. that I really like. Since the first moves are not like the first move is not a slash move, you can actually cancel. So let's see, after I'm done with my second block, it looks like this. I can cancel into it like if it looks like this, I can cancel into it like this. I don't have to have the edge there, but once you're first starting out, it's good to have that there because it can get confusing. The next case is when it's on the right, the headlights, and I execute it like this. Pretty simple. So I think the next one is yes. Oh wait. Oh my goodness, what am I doing wrong? Okay, here we go. So this next case is when it's on the left, and this is my least favorite alg, as you could probably tell. I hate executing it. It goes like this. It's a bit slower and harder finger trick, but it's pretty decent compared to most of the algs, or most other Square-1 algs. And then the final one, there's actually two more, but the other one everyone else that uses Vandenberg already knows. Let's see. There. It's this case when the headlights are in the back, and this is probably my favorite one. Oh, let's see. Let me do that again. Oh crap. Damn it. The second case is for this. It's when the headlights are in the front. And remember, you have to have it in the top left and the open slot in the front. So it goes like this. That one's pretty fast also. And there's a certain trick about this certain one that I really like. I'll show you it. Hold on. So since the first move is not a slash move, you can actually cancel into the alg from most circumstances. So if you finish the second block and it looks like this, like the edge is in the front, or I mean the left, and etc., you can just cancel into the alg, which is really good. It saves probably quarter to half a second because you recognize it and you're already doing the alg, as opposed to you have to AUF first. So it's pretty nice. The third case is this. It's when the headlights are on the left, and this is also pretty easy to recognize because, well, they're on the left and also the edge that you're trying to solve is in between them. So this is my least favorite alg. It's still okay, but I really don't like executing it. Yep, it's not that great compared to the other algs, but it's still pretty good for Square-1. Alright, this fourth case is when the headlights are in the back. This one is a nice alg, and you can cancel into M2 pretty well if you need to. So it goes like this. Yep, it's pretty nice. And then there's just two more left. Okay, so the fifth one is when the headlights are on the right, and this one's also pretty nice. It goes like this. Yep, it's pretty good. Nothing really I can say about that. This final one should be common to anyone who uses Vandenberg. It's just the 2 swap. And this is actually an exception to the rule where you have to have the edge up here and the open slot down here. It's the reverse. You have to have the edge on the right, open slot in the back. So, yeah, that one's easily the best alg. But all of them are pretty nice, except maybe the one that has the headlights on the left. But they're all pretty nice. I'll go into EPLL. So after you're done with that step, you go into EPLL, and there's U-perms, 2 U-perms, of course, a Z-perm, and an H-perm. And for this U-perm, I solve it with just 2 adjacent swaps. It's nothing special. hold on a minute. Okay. Yep. For this case, you have to have the bar in the front. And it's this case when it's going counterclockwise. So I just solved it with 2 adjacent swaps. It's pretty simple. Well, now this next case I actually know an alg for. It probably is the same exact time as adjacent, but whatever. This one is the clockwise U perm, and of course you have to have the bar in the front. Oh goodness, and usually I don't mess up that bad, but it's like this. Yeah, pretty good. This next one is the Z perm. For this, you can either execute it from this angle with the swap in the front and the left, or the right and the back, or you can execute it with the front and the right being swapped. But I personally like executing it from this angle, which is it's just M2, -3, M2, 3, or excuse me, 4, and M2. Pretty good. It's probably the fastest EPLL. And if you wanted to execute it from this angle, you just do M2, 4, M2, -3, M2. It's pretty fast either way. Yep, not bad. Good. The last one is H perm. This is extremely similar to its 3x3 counterpart. You execute it like this: M2, -2, M2, -5, M2, -2, M2. It's pretty fast, probably the second fastest EPLL. Most cases you can actually skip it, however. For example, in let's see, if I can force a skip. Okay, for example, if I get H perm here, when I'm doing the end of this alg, see this swap, I can skip a lot of different cases. See how this piece needs to go here? I don't use this all the time, but it can be useful. This piece needs to go here, this piece needs to go here, so I recognize this will be a Z perm. Or, excuse me, if I execute it like this, it'll be a Z perm. So if I do it like this, I think I'll skip. Yeah, I don't use it all the time, but when you recognize it. So now I'll be doing some walkthrough solves. Alright, so this is the first scramble. It's pretty decent. I do not know CSP, so bear with me if I get parity. But I would execute this cube shape like this. Pretty simple. That might not have been the most efficient, but it's time efficient, so. And then I see this piece and this piece right here, these two orange ones. And immediately I see this edge. So my first block would be like this. And I put it on the left, like that. And then my second block would be like this. And if I just move it like this, it'll put this edge in the top layer, and I don't want that. So I would do -1, -1, and then put this the block in like that. And then 6, and I see this is diag. And at the end of this, I would cancel into M2, and I think this will skip. Oh no, it won't. It'll just give me parity. Oh yeah, it will skip. Okay. Well, I might not see it in the solve, but if I did, I would do, instead of just inserting it, I would do M2, -5, M2, and insert it like that. Excuse me, like that, to skip having to do EPLL. And during that, I would flip the edge. So it's, a lot of these cases are pretty nice. Sometimes you don't get that lucky though. Next scramble. I don't know this fist. I don't think this is a good fist. No, it's not. Okay. So this is bad fist, which is still, it's not crap, but it's not nearly as good as I wanted. I'd probably execute it like this. Like that. And my first block would probably be blue. So I see these two. While I'm doing that, I see this edge. Put it on the left. And then green, corners back here. And I'd solve it like this. And I see this right here. And the headlights will be in the back. And I don't need to do M2 because it was the correct edge, and EPLL. And I see that it needs to be flipped, and that the bottom is actually off by a -6, so I can cancel like that. Pretty nice. Oh crap. I have a feeling that I misscrambled. Hold on. Okay, so next scramble. Okay, so this is pretty simple cube shape. I would just execute it like this. Pretty easy. And I see this right here. That would be really nice. And I don't immediately see the edge, but I look around and I see this block, so I'd probably go for that instead. That. And because when I did that no edges came up, I know that the edge is actually in the back. So if I do this, and then M2, you see the block forms. And here, since there's no edges in the bottom, in the top, I know that one edge, or at least one edge, will come out. So I don't actually need to do this to see the edge, but I know that one edge will be in the top, so. And I see it's the wrong edge. So I would do the alg. And cancel into an M2, U2, M2. And I got parity, and after I do parity, it'll be an H perm. Yep. There is a benefit to learning algs for parity, of course, since you don't have to do 2 algs during the last layer. Alright. So for this case, it's not that great of a cube shape. It's not bad though. I'd probably do it like this to get scallop kite, and then like that. I immediately see this block and this corner, so that'd be my first block. And then I look for the other corner and I see it's back here. So if I do it like this, that'll be my second block. And I see this edge will go in if I do like this. So I go like this. I see this one came out. And in this case, it's much faster just to do an M2 to put these edges in and then carry on with normal last layer. So that's what I do. And I got parity J perm, so I do J perm. And if you know Vandenberg, you know that alg. I'll put it in the description, however. And parity. Yep. Not too great of a solve. Okay. This is a very good case. Or, well, it's not very good, but it's pretty good. So, cube shape, I do this. Scallop kite, and then there. And I see these two corners and this edge, so that would be my first block, like that. And I see this edge, this corner, and this corner, so I do like this. And unfortunately, no edges came out, so I had to do J-perm again, and this time I see I have no parity, so I got Z-perm. Pretty good. I think this will be my last example solve. Okay. I'd probably do cube shape like this. Like that. And I immediately see this edge and this block, but when I'm looking for the red edge, I don't see it, so I'd probably go for this. Like that. And I see this corner. Or, did I say red edge? Yeah, I meant red corner. But here's the corner. So I go like that. Here's the edge, and here's what I was talking about earlier where you can cancel. So I cancel into the alg like this. And I have a U-perm. So that was a very good solve. As you can probably tell, Lim has a lot of advantages to it. However, it relies on intuition and look ahead more than Vandenberg does. It has much fewer algs than Vandenberg, so you can get to similar times with Lin to other Square-1 methods with far fewer algs. I think there's just 11 that I used, so it's pretty nice, but it does demand a lot of look ahead and efficiency during blocks. I hope you enjoyed watching, and I'll see you guys next time.